if else loop and so on so far. Yeah, I can show you here. Again, it's the same, will be the same site. So as you can see here, generally, this Java tutorial right now, this part, it's our first lesson. Yeah, so you can find this information here. It will be more convenient for you to, if you have any question, so you can go here, you can write to the chat, so on so far. About control statement, again, I more try to show you real example, but theory you can see here. I already explained it to you, like with some different explanation from but again, it's the same. At the end of the day, you will have the same. You need to have the same understanding, and the main idea of this course is you need to have a real practice. You need to see the code and ask your questions. So how you are usually executed, what it's better to use this or that, so on and so forth. So if you have any question, it's even better if you will read before the lection, and you will go to the lection and ask question particular to this. Or we have another lesson after this. You can, at the first part, you can ask a question that was not really clear for you. But my advice for you will be write a code. Like try sit down and write a code. So if else statement, if statement, switch statement, so on so far. I will share with you this code also with the repository. We'll share to link to this repository. You will be able to download and see this. But again, you can even one more time see this. You can even one more time go through this, but it will be nothing if you will if you will just see this. You need to write this as more as you can right now. Okay, so again, this site, as you can see, navigation you can see here. Let's move on to our next part. So any question regarding this one? Okay, any question? Okay, okay, it was clear for you or not? It's like a general question to all of you. It was fast, it was slow, or
it was clear and good enough.
Good enough. Okay. Okay, so let's move on. While so okay. Okay, so we will go to the loop, yeah. While loop, usually you will see while a lot, and yeah, we use it a lot because for, we also will see what for later on, but while it's really a cool opportunity for you to implement some repeated action again and again. So see, you can also here you can see the simple example. So while, again, here is condition, and it's really simple to create an infinite loop. So loop which will never end. So it will be repeat again and again. And it's really dangerous when you write your code. So usually you, as a developer, as a QA, as an engineer, you need to think about what's going on under the hood in my while loop, and if this loop can be in any case like execute infinite number of time, it's dangerous. You cannot push this code to the general repository. Okay, yeah, question, please. I see one. Yeah, sure. Sure. Compiler cannot say to you that I see infinity loop here. Compiler just can execute it again and again and again, and will fail with out of memory error or something like this. But again, for you, as you will see this only in the end when you will fail with some error, like I have not more memory and your computer or something like this. But imagine situation when you will run your code at some environment, for example, at some server or something like this. Yeah, you need to prevent this while you execute your program, and usually it's only using by You can only use it. You can debug it, yeah, and to prevent this in your head. So you need to imagine all situation, what's going on here, what's going on there. But for Java, yeah, Java will show you, not Java, but ADE, if you will say something like this, it will be true. Yeah, it will say to you that, okay, without throwing exception. So this whole explanation is like infinity loop. It will continue. Yeah, but it will, it's again, it's not a Java. It's a IDE. It's IntelliJ IDEA here, but not Java. Java does not really care about your code. Java care about execution of this code. Okay, one more hand.
Yeah, I've got a question. Within the previously the condition, so tell me if we run it in a debug mode, will the program will tell us about the possibility of the infinite loop?
You can see this in debug mode. You really, it's more for you to understand where it can be a situation where your, for example, counter will not increase. So this is a simple code. You will increase your counter each time, yeah, at first line. But for example, you will see a loop, for example, you will see a while a loop with a lot of code, yeah, and in this code it will be a method in another class, so on, so far. So you need to investigate all of these things, yeah, and for you, just for you, you can debug this and see the execution of this code. So for example, you can just say, okay, what will be execution, yeah, and here you can find the execution in debug mode. But debug mode will not show you that, yeah, it's definitely infinity loop here. It's only your responsibility to prevent this and as an engineer to see this possibility. Yeah. It will come with experience because it's more you need to write and write again. Okay, so let's come back. First of all, we have a if state. Uh, First execution, it will be, let's do it right now in debug. Yeah, easy for you. So first of all, we have a 0 here after first execution. Yeah, we have a 1 here because we increase our counter, and again we have a 2 here after this execution. So this particular button will go to the next breakpoint, and I have only one breakpoint here, so it go to this particular breakpoint again and again. Again, we have 3, and right now it will be false, and I will go to this particular line. As you can see right now, then I will go to this. And of course, in my console, I will see all of this. So 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Let's move on. While and break. Usually you will see something like this. Yeah, it will be while, even while true. I cannot say that it is okay, but probably you can in some cases write something like this. While true, yeah, do something. And here you will have a condition in which you will go out. But here, you as an engineer, you understand that if this statement also will be always false, you will never go back to the next line, go back from this particular loop. So you need to understand it. Okay, so let's see it right now. Also in debug. Debug for you, too easy to understand, just for you. Okay, counter +1, and as you can see here, we go to this line, because here it was a true, we go to this line. For example, I would like to have a false here. Yeah, let's execute it one more time. Okay, first of all, as you can see, it was 1. We print something, so some print 1. After it was 2. Again, we come back to this because it was end of our while, so on and so far. And after counter was less than 3, we go to the next line of the execution. And in this case, we don't really care about this one. So we can have a break here, but we also know that in somehow we also will go back to our next line of code. Of course, you can do like this, for example, yeah. And you also will go from this line. As you can see right now, Java execute my code and print something here. Yeah, execution, so on so far. Again, you can debug, you can see this, that you again and again repeat the situation and in this way investigate what's going on. Why some counter doesn't work or some method or something like this. Only like this. Okay. Okay. Break, again, break work in the same way as was in switch case. So we go to the end of our while, not at the end of our if, but at the end of our while. Because right now it's easy for you, it will be like this, yeah, because it's break not from if, it's break from while. Okay. With continue. Also we have a, again, it's a keyword, it's another keyword. Let's right now share with you again. It was for me it was useful. I hope for you it also will be useful. Java keywords. So again, here we have list of all of the keywords. You can read the explanation. So for example, count, continue the loop. So again, it's continue. Can kind of follow a program and skip the remaining code special conditions. Yeah. So continue is like continue our loop. Let's see how it works. Again, in debug. So again, as you can see here, we will print some count, and as you can see, this line will not be printed. Yeah, because we have a continue here. As you can see right now, how Java works. Go to continue, and right now it will go to the line 8, not to the line 1, 4. Yeah, it will go in this way. Yeah. Okay, and after it we will go to the next line. Okay. I believe it was clear. Because for me, again, it's for you to explain. And your task is to practice, to have a practice on your guess color. For example, again, it's pretty simple game. For example, we guess some color. Yeah, we have an attempt. How many times our customer will try to attempt this, and with them max attempt. Yeah, max number of for customer to guess our color. Yeah. So let's play it, and you see the execution of this. Yeah. So it's a while. We will go out from our while loop only after main max attempt will be more than 5. Yeah. But we already we also can go out from the loop if we will go to this statement. Yeah, if our value will equals to exit, yeah, we will go out from our else loop, not from the if. Again, break is for the loop. If is just a statement. Yeah, it's not a loop. Break and continue works with loops. Okay, and so on so far. If our value not equals, and again, not, it's like you can say no, but we don't have it in Java. We have a execution mark. Yeah. Okay, equals to color, we will continue to our guessing. So it works in this way. Let's also play it. For example, somewhere here. So okay, I need to number 1, for example, red. Yeah. So our value right now, as you can see here, our value red, not exit. So we will postpone this if statement, but right now our value equals to color. Yeah. So this will be true. Yeah. It will be true. But we have explanation mark. Yeah. And at this point, we will say that, okay, if it's true, it will be false. So we will change it, as you can see here. Okay, let's execute it one more time, and it will be false. So we guess, and after we guess, we will go out from our program. We will go out from our program, and as you can see here, congratulations, you guess with 1 attempt. Again, it will be more than 1 attempt. We will go to this line, and we'll print, but not more than 5. So again, for you, it maybe can be interesting just to write the same program, like without the seeing this code. But even if I can do right now like this and say to you, like, can you please write this? It will be a task for you because you're right now at the beginning and it will be okay. You need to do this. Yeah, because you need to have a practice with this. So for you, it also can be really convenient because at the end of the day, you need to have a possibility to write the code. You need to know how to do this. Okay, do while. Do while also pretty simple. It's the same while loop, but we will execute our condition, our body at least one time, at least one. Because first of all, we execute our body, and after it we check, okay, if we continue or not, true or not. If it's true, we will continue execute this particular line of code, so this particular body. So the main difference between while and do while is that do while we execute at least one time. While we can postpone, because for example, if I will have here something like this, -1, yeah, and I will enter here, for example, 0, yeah, so I will not go to the body of this loop, to the body of this while. I will go to this line because here it was false already. Just for you to understand. It's the main difference. Okay, so let's execute it. It works in the same way. As said, while, but at least one time we will execute this. Okay, do while break. The same. We can use break to go out from our loop, and our loop will end here. Again, our body will end here. We will go out from our loop. We say that, okay, we don't need to execute this loop anymore. I would like to go out. You can use keyword break at this point. You will not execute next line. You will go from this. Okay. Yeah. You will go from this particular loop, not to this line, but from this whole body. Okay, do while continue, again the same. Continue works in the same way for do while. So when you say continue, you say that you would like to start execution your loop again at the beginning of the body. Yeah, and here you will go to this line. So let's see it. Oh, this one. Counter plus plus. Okay, have. Yeah, as you can see here, to the next line, we will go and check our condition. So we will go continue, we will go and check. We continue our execution or not. Again, first one, second line, we continue. So this line is like, doesn't show here, but we execute this line and go to our else statement and we check, we continue or not, so on and so far. And we will never print this particular line because it's like not possible to come here because we have continue. Continue throw us to the end of the body to check if else statement is okay for us. Okay. Okay. You also probably know what is factorial. It's like mathematic thing. It's like when you have factorial of number, you usually say that you need to have some mathematical operation for this. Yeah, it will be factorial of 4, it will be 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. It will be 24. Yeah. Counterfactorial, so it's pretty simple implementation of the factorial, and also mathematic rule said to us that if factorial equals to 0, we need to say that factorial it was 1, because factorial of 0 it was like 1. Also, so pretty simple. So what interesting here? Counter. Yeah, you can say the same thing here. As you can see at line 28, I believe it was like 30. So again, you can write it in different ways. Write it this way, on this way. It's like both will be correct. Here you will have one line, first of all. You'll have this operation. After it, you will decrease this number. But you can also write in this way, just uncommented, just for you to know. Okay, let's write it. Counter. Okay, let's write it. No, I know factorial of 5. It was counter factorial. Now we have counter. Okay, I see. This one, it's factorial. Yeah.
Factorial.
Strange for me. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, counter. I believe I need to uncomment here. Yeah.
No, you changed the line 22 to 5. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's correct. Okay. But it also will be just for you to think what's going on if you will write, for example, like 100 or more. Yeah, and we have int here. I will show you later on, but it can be particular. Here it can be unexpected behavior for you as an engineer. So let's move on. Okay, any question regarding while and do while loops? Okay, any question? You already know it, yeah, guys? Please stop. Plus sign. Someone, yes, okay. Okay, someone does, someone don't. Okay. 4. So let's move on. 4. 4, it's like regular one in Java or in any other language. You can imagine 4 as, first of all, you need to say that counter. You need to declare your counter here. After it, you have a condition. And also increment or decrement of the count. Usually it will be like this, yeah? So this particular line of code will be executing like 3 times. Let's see this. You also can implement this in do while or while style, yeah, but usually it will be if you have something like this that you know particularly what's the main difference between while when we need to use while and when we need to use for. If you know particular number of the execution, you need to use for. If you don't know how many time this particular loop need to be executed, you need to use while. But again, in while, when you execute while, you need to think maybe can it be possible to create an infinity loop here or not? It's like your question. So again, initialization, conditional, and increment or decrement here. And again, body. Okay. For, I believe it was pretty simple. Again, break with for work in the same way, again, in the same particular way. So we can just right now, we go here, we say that it was 0, we print this 0, and it was break, we go out from our for loop. So that's why our program end here at this point. Continue. Continue work, again, the same as was for while and do while, but we will never go to this particular line because it was continuous. So we come back to our verification. Is it was like more or less. Counter for in for also with the it is possible. It is possible, and usually it is implemented like this. It is possible to create for in for loop. Yeah. So for for guys who don't really have a lot of experience with this, it will be strange at first, but you need to understand that it's really convenient way to execute something more than particular amount of time. Yeah. So in this way, it's like pretty simple. You can print some asterisks here, but you can also change this to I believe, and it will be different asterisks. Yeah, and let's investigate why it is right now print in this way, because first of all, it was like 0 here, so our I was 0. We go to this loop and like 0 more than 0, no, so we print like nothing. Okay, new print line. So here you can see it was a new print line. After it we come to this particular for, yeah, our for become like, we increase this, our for I become number 1. We go to this, but here again we again execute this loop. So it was j again was 0, and now 1 more than 0, yes, it's true, and we print 1 asterisk, and here it is. After it we come back and again we increase our j, and our j become 1. 1 more than 1, no, it was a false, so we move to this particular line, and here we is. Here we are. Yeah, after it again it was 2, and so on so far. So let's see this debug. So as you can see here, we already print 1 line. As you can see here, we already print 1 line because it was here. Yeah, let's execute it one more time, 1 asterisk. After it will be like here. There will be 3 asterisks. Why? Because we increase our I and j. So in this way, it's really convenient for you to use. Okay, and so on so far. It's really hard, at least for usual developers and QAs, general engineers, when you see something like this, you usually, oh my god, it's like it's so hard, I need to somehow investigate how it works, and it's okay. It's usually will be like this in any case. First of all, what you need to do, you need to execute this program. When you investigate something, you need to just run this program. If it's failed, investigate why and at which line it's failing. But usually when you do not understand anything, you start from the very beginning. You start from this point, you start a breakpoint and investigate how program executed. Yeah, and try to find out what do you need here to know. Okay, so it's just a general way. Because for you need to somehow investigate, yeah, you need to know how to do this. Okay. And again, how to create endless loop, or in my interpretation it was infinity loop, yeah. Okay, so while true, it's pretty obvious, it will be executing like for the end of the world, or at least at my computer, yeah, for the end of my computer. Do while exactly the same. The main idea here is while will be true, so I can uncomment this. And for you can write it in this way. It will be really infinity loop here. Okay. You can do like this. I forgot a keyword to uncomment this particular comment. It was a different one. In Java we have this comment which comment 1 line, and we have I believe this one. Yeah, this one which will comment as many line as we will like. Yeah, but we also have a hotkey for this, but I don't remember because again I don't use this. And for you, again, when you would like to study something or explore something, you need to use it again and again and again, and only after it you will have an experience with this. So let's see, that is really infinity loop or endless loop. So you can see my program will execute. Again, I have a lot of memory on my computer, and I would like to have a computer after the end of this lesson, so I will stop this program. But you need to know that this way, again, it is convenient for you, and maybe in some case you would like to use this. How to break this loop? You can just write a break keyword and some condition, so you will exit out of this loop. But it's again, you need to be really careful with the infinity loop or endless loop. Okay, any question regarding for, do while, so on and so forth. Control Shift plus, okay. Control Shift plus, yeah. Okay, no question. Okay. So let's come back to our spreadsheet. Okay, our next topic, it will be Java operating procession table. This one. Again, I can share with you this link. The main idea here is for you to know, again, how Java thinking, what Java priority precedence, yeah, while executing. Usually you need to know where to find this, but it's really a real case when you will create some so difficult to know what particular execution go after another. Usually if you know some mathematics base rule, you can use just brackets, and these brackets will help you to understand where your program start and end particular line of code. Okay, so you can read it, but really nothing shown in code. So, and also all the operators here you also can find. Okay, let's move on. Any question regarding this one? Okay, sorry. Okay, any question? One second. Okay, arrays. And we will go back to our arrays. Arrays. Usually when we see some array, it means that in scope of this array you will have a lot of types of the same, a lot of values, yeah, a lot of variables, just as convenient way for you to store your data in scope of one array. So you can go to this array and say, okay, hi, I would like to have a number 1 from this array. Array just a simple store, you can imagine as a store. Usually in memory it will be something like this. You will have your memory, yeah, and in scope of memory, when you say like int array, again, this is how we declare arrays. Java will dedicate for you array, and in scope of this array, it will particularly for you dedicate 5 in particular example like points, and we'll say to the memory like, okay, I reserved like 5 memory slots in some way for this. So you can go to the you can go on, and when you need this particular, for example, 1 value, yeah, or 2, something like this, you can go back and say, okay, can you please give me back this particular value that I store there. Again, it's pretty much the same as value, but value you can store only some value, for example, int or string or something else. But creating an array, you can have array of particular values. Okay, so the declaration, it will be int. In particular way, it will be int. It can be long, double, string, car, so on, so far. So any data type that you would like to have here. It's not only primitive or not primitive, any data type. And we also say that it will be a size, this particular array will have a size of 5. And okay, we will say that array, and also narration will be from 0, not from 1, usually in programming language. We will store number 10, number 12, number 30, so on so far. And we can also say that, okay, return to me this value. And we can say just array, number all, and use it somehow. For example, we can add 1. Yeah, in this way, it will be 11 here. Yeah, so let's print. Again, array, it's pretty simple topic, especially if you at least know some language, any language any programming language, so let's move on. But again, if something not clear, please interrupt me and let me know. Okay, what we have here, we can use for to iterate through all of our arrays values that we have in our array. We can do it pretty simple. We can say that array.length, it will return integer value. It will be long even. Yep, it will be long. Maybe no, it will be int or long. I don't remember. It will be maybe int. Yeah, it will be. I cannot even. Okay, it will return some numeric value, and in this way you will know how many items you right now have in your array. In this way you can, for example, save some data there. So you will say that so on so far. Print value also the same. You will iterate through all arrays and print some values that you already stored there. Also we can use for in some unusual way, maybe for someone. It's called for each operator in Java. It was declared in Java 1.7 or 1.8, not from the start of the Java life. Again, it's really convenient way for you to do not write this particular line of code. You can say like, okay, I have array, and I would like to, for each of this element, I would like to do something. Not only print, I can add, I can do something with this particular values here. But the main idea here is that Java will do like this. It will go to this array and will do one by one. So it will take first element, after the second element, third element, so on and so far. After the, so it will iterate through all of the elements that array right now has here. Okay, elements in Java 8. Okay, yeah, Java 8, I remember. Okay, fill. You can also say it in this way. So for example, you would like to say that, okay, I would like to store something to this particular array at the very beginning. So you can do this in this way. Again, keyword new here indicate that it will be a new array. And again, array, it's not a primitive type. It's like not primitive type of value. Okay, print, pretty simple here. Array, number 5, length, value elements. Okay, any question regarding arrays at this point? Okay, okay. Dimensionless arrays. So usually it's really a real case when you will use it, but you need to know about this. Again, you can create array in array. Yeah, so you can imagine this as a pie. Again, here. Again, here. So first array, in our case, it will be 3, 3. So this number will indicate how many lines do we have. This number indicate how many particular value will we have here. It will be 4, number 1, 0, it will be number 4 here, 5, 6, so on so far. Yeah, it will be 9. And you can read it like this. And numeration will be from 0. So you can imagine in this case. Also, it can be different if you will do like this. Yeah, for you it will be 2 lines, but still 3 value in each line. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. And also you can store value there. The main idea of array is storing the value. The main idea of any value is storing some particular data there. Okay, let's run it. You can see. And also the same, you can write value there, and you can say that give it value to me back, please. Yeah, and you would like to specify what particular value element of array you need to you would like to have. Okay, you also can, and here the main here the explanation of why do we need a for in for loop. Yeah, so you can create a array, yeah, and fill this array in this particular loop. It will be really convenient for you. It's like more easier than this particular implementation. You can do a while loop. Oh, sorry, for loop, but also you can do a while if you want. But more convenient for me, at least, it will be for. Okay. Okay, also you can declare your array in this way. And again, just for you to know how you can declare the arrays. Again, in this way we have an array in array. Yeah. First of all, you declare how many lines will you have here, and then you declare what particular items you will have there. Let's move on and print, of course. Of course it will be print. Yep, you can see here. And again, when you will print just array, it will be a reference which Java use for storing data in the memory. Yeah, so we will later on talk about garbage collector, so on and so forth. But the main idea here is you need to understand that it's not a string. It's not an int or something else. Even string override method to string, class string, I mean. So if you will see as something like this, yeah, we can find here to string method, and as you can see here, this toString method leaves overriding by string. Let's do something like that. I need only to know. Yeah. So as you can see here, is goes from object class, and in this case, object, it's a parent of all. We will also describe it later on, but the main idea here, it will return the this hash, I believe. Yeah, it's hash, which indicate where in memory Java can find this particular object. But when you want to print the value that this object has, you need to go through loops or some for statement. So okay, guys, maybe you would like to have a also break, or it's okay for you. We can continue. Okay, okay. Okay, let's continue. Any question regarding how to declare arrays, what it is, and how we can use, fill, and print this? Any question? Any question? I'm just going crazy here. Okay, let's move on. Vector, also here, matrix, just a simple explanation. Again, in array, when we say about array, it's usually a vector in a mathematic from mathematic point of view, and array in array, it will be a matrix. You can imagine it like this, like I explained. If you know mathematics, you can imagine it in this way. It will be convenient for you. Also, you can create as many dimensional arrays as you would like. Yeah, it's not only 3, 4, it can be 10, but again, it will be really hard for you to handle this. The main idea of this is just for you to know that it can be like this. But again, it will be hard to handle, and it's a really real case when you need, when you really need to do this. Usually, when you come with the question, "Oh, okay, I need to do this, this, and this," and try to explain your implementation for the developers, for the guys with experience, it usually will be like, oh, okay, you can use just this, it's already implemented for you. And for you as a for beginner, you need to know that it is exists. But when you come up, when question come up with the with some question like, oh, okay, how I can implement this and this and this, and I need to handle it, and I have more than four, even more than three, four loops, it's really hard to handle. It's really hard for you to write and for me to understand and for your colleague to understand. So usually more than four statement, it's do not write more than four statement. It's one point. Second point, when you need to decide some really hard technical issue, try to Google it and try to find some simple implementation, because when you write something like this, it really, from my point of view, it's hard to handle, and I as a reviewer will never push this to the common base, because again, common base, it's a base of code where all developers live. And for example, you will leave our company or our project, and I need to handle it. Okay, I need to handle it. I need to find out what the main idea was here. It was like, I will not do this. Usually I will delete all of this code and write my own. So from your point of view, it really best choice will be find some another way. Okay. No, okay. I cannot I cannot do this because for now, for me it's really hard to, without people here. So okay, just my head. I will try to do something with this.
I'm sorry, Nikita, can you run those three-dimensional array, please?
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
Thank you.
We can do it even with the breakpoint here. Let's try to debug this. So the main idea, first, we come to this. You can see all the variables that we have right now. Let's see what we will have in our console. Again, this button will go, our code will continue to execute, and when it will find first breakpoint in any point here or here, it will again stop. Yep. So again to this breakpoint. As you can see here, it will be 1. We printed 2, 3, 4, so on so far. We printed. We can go here. Yep. So this is end of the first loop. Now, again, for me right now, it's easy to debug these things, yeah, but to understand, it's really hard, especially in code which really do something, not just example. Usually when you write something, you would like to test something, or you would like to implement some helpers method, and when you use things like this, it's really hard to handle, because usually code would like to code will rewrite many times. For example, your developer will push something else and will break your test, and you need to go to this test because you have a red test on your regression, for example, yeah, and you need to pass this test. You need to investigate what's wrong with this. Is it was because of developer, or it was because of your particular code as a QA, because it's different one. You will have a model for this. It's not the main topic here, but the main idea for you to understand, you can use something like this. You can declare something like this, but in real case, it's really rare, and it's a bad practice to implement something like this. Okay. I will push this code to the repository. You will be able to download it and do the same thing here. Okay, again, declaration. You can declare it. in this way. First of all, you declare whole array, it will be this one. After it, this first array, it will be this one. In here we will have 1, 2, 3. We will have 3 arrays. And in scope of this array, well, our last one, we will have first value, second value, and third value. Again, after it here, so on so far. And again, to print it, we will need to use something like this to print all of them. Yeah. It's just again explanation how you can declare it. So the main difference here is the declaration in this way, and here Explorer show you how to declare it in another way. Judge array. So usually you can create array in something like this. So it will be I can show you, it will be easy for you to understand. So 3, yep, 3. You will have, you will have 3 lines, but in scope of this line only one particular. So in first judge you will have, sorry, it was like my mistake. Yeah, here the main idea, it will be 3, 1, 2, 3. After it will be first, it will be 1, 2. Yeah, but second element of this particular array will have 5. Yeah, so it will be like this, and it's 1 till 5. Yeah, and there it will be 3, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay for you to do like this, but again, think about this and in way of maintaining. Yeah, you need to maintain it somehow. Yeah, usually when you write something, think about how you can handle it. So for example, after the week you need to open the same code and explain it or rewrite it or do something. Yeah, how you can do it. Yeah, usually if you spend more than 10 minutes to understand what's going on here, it's a bad code. It's a really bad implementation. You need to write it. Yeah, so in this way it will be the same. Array, it's pretty old construction in Java. We will explore list. Better to implement for the QA, but for you, for now, to understand how it works, just for store the data. Again, same explanation. You can declare it in this way. Again, the same, but here you declare particularly. Here you declare like in scope of equal sign. Okay, method with array. Okay, so we already discussed. It will be our next topic on our next lesson regarding methods, fields, so on so far. But right now we already know that we can have a method for a particular class. Yeah, and if this method is static, I can say just a name of the class and static method, even if it's even in one class, so I don't even need to write a name of this particular class. I can do like this, or I can postpone this name of this class. So the main idea of this code is that we have a method which will receive from us my array. So for example, some array, do something inside. So for example, we can do like this. So we modify array, you read this code. My array will be equals to modify array. What's going on under the hood? Yeah, you need to know or not. It depends on your task right now. Because as a QA, you usually will have a lot of method and developers, so on. You need to find the main reason why you exploring this. Yeah, if you need to find out the problem, you need to find out the problem, but not to understand whole code and how it work, how it handle all of these things. No, it's redundant. If you have a problem, you need to decide this problem first of all. And by the way, when you do this, yeah, you can find some another problem and it will be okay, but understand whole things, it will dedicate a lot of time for you. So usually when you see a method, you need to declare a method to specify what exactly this method do. Yeah. Okay, and let's right now see what this method do. It's receive from us array. Go and okay, it's to to each element of this array, yeah, it will just modify it, so it will execute some mathematical operation here and return to us our array. Yeah, and in this point of so let's debug this. It will be easy for you. Yeah, so right now at this point, before the execution of this line, we have my array as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, great. After the execution of the modify array string, as you can see here, let's move on. Yeah, we already have another value of this array because we modify it, because this method was executed. And this method returned to us another array. And we say like, oh, okay, Java, can you please can you please store my array as another value, not as this one? Yeah, I go to the method and say to this method, okay, I have this value, but I would like to have another one. And okay, method will return to me this value. It's really convenient for you because you can separate your logic when you write code, but we will explore it later on. The main idea here is that this method do something for you. Yeah, and return this. Okay, and we will just print it. Okay, we have a here. Yeah, we will just print it. It's because of print, not print ln. Something like this. Okay. And again, print, it's again a method, and this method do something for you. But name print usually indicates that it prints something. It's pretty obvious, yeah. And as you can see, implementation, it will be print your message, X, yeah. It's again bad naming, but okay. Yeah, it's print X and new line. It's return new line, print line. But print, just execute another method print. And in this way you can explore how Java work. Yeah. So for example, if you receive as null, it will be string of null, but not a null pointer exception. Yeah. It will be a write method under the hood, and under the hood, Java. This is called we usually call it as a magic. Yeah. This is a magic. Here's under the hood, Java do some magic. So usually as a QA, you need to use this tool. Yeah, you need to understand how Java works. But I can say that not even I don't know, senior developers know all of this method, because it's he care about his work and about his particular task. Java is a tool, and you cannot know all of the possibility how to use this tool. But the main one you need to know. Yeah, and here I show you how to use it. But again, for you, just for you to know and for you to practice. Okay, find minimum value and maximum value from the array. Also pretty simple task, and I will recommend for you to implement it by your own and see the explanation here, for example. Yeah, because for you right now, when you see this again and again, I will repeat it and repeat, when you see some code, you see, oh, okay, it's convenient, I have explanation here, I understand it. Believe me, when you try to write it, it will be a lot of problem for you at the start point, because you do not have experience right now, and it is okay. You need to have this experience, you need to write this code. I cannot say to you like write it every day and do nothing, just exploring Java and so on so far. I can only recommend it for you to do, because I already passed this, I already have a job. Yeah, and I can show you how it can be. But was a time, yeah, I was like you, sitting there, listen to the lecture and think like, oh, okay, I understand it. And when I was at the interview and was like, can you please implement some minimum and maximum value from the array? And it was like, okay, yeah, and it was like 10 or more minutes for this. Yeah, it's really hard for me was at that point, because it was nervous, so on so far. But the main idea here, I do not did it at home. Yeah, but I should do that. Okay, so do not repeat my mistakes. Okay, so the main idea here is that you go through all arrays again, yeah, through all value of the arrays, and you declare some minimum value and say like, okay, if this particular value from this, yeah, less than minimum, then okay, I will rewrite my minimum value. You can even write it like this, yeah, Okay, if it's more convenient for you. For me, not. For me, this way it's more convenient. But you can do this. You rewrite your minimum value, and you will find in this way you will find minimum and the same maximum value. So method you can see here. The same will be for max. For max, you will change only one sign here. Okay, so any question regarding array at this point? Guys, are you here? Guys.
No questions.
Okay. Just said to me something at least. Okay. Okay, arrays. So we also have a topic, mention array and last topic. So I have my second screen. I can show you. Yeah. So we cover flow control, if else, switch, do, while, for, break, continue. I explained to you operator precedents. I share you the link to this. You will read, but the main key things you understand that it was a precedent in Java and how to handle it. But again, it's practice, and practice. Any explanation here? Arrays, one dimensions array, anonymous. You can, okay, this one. You can pass, for example, you can here, for example, I can do like this. I can use this array and say like, okay, can you please use this new int array and just without the name of this array, okay, of course, I need to have a array here. Yep. But the main idea here is that anonymous array in this way, it will be array without the name. So here it is. You just pass this array right to the method. It's an anonymous one. Yeah. Just explanation, just for you to know. When you write something like this, array, it's not anonymous array. It already has a name. Yep. Anonymous one, it's when you say just new. So for example, you need to create just some value here. Remove expression, not state. No. Okay, but for a method, you can use it. It will be anonymous one. Just main explanation. Sorting array. Sorting array, yeah, I will show for you. Sorting. And our last, okay. It was here. Where it was? Okay. Not this one. Okay. Anonymous constant. Okay. Loops for each we already covered. Multi-dimensions array, yeah, already showed to you. And our last topic for today is class array. So arrays, it's really important. Arrays from the uppercase, it's a class. This is a class in which already Java since 1.2, since version number 2, Java developers already implement for you a lot of helpers, yeah, that you can use to do your job. Because again, you can ride a bicycle by your own. It will be interesting, yeah, it will be cool, and you will be like, you will become a really strong developer. At the beginning, you need to implement your sort method, your implementation of array by your own. Yeah, it's important. But many things you will do, especially at your project, when you will go to the enterprise development, you need to know how to write this code quickly. Because as a developer, as a QA, you need to understand how you can cover the things and how you can implement this particular behavior. For example, you have a lot of data, you need to use array. For example, you need to use some iteration. Yeah, what can you use? You can use for, you can use while, so on and so far. Depends on your tasks. You need to understand how you can implement it quickly, and as quickly you can do this, you will become more like experienced set one. You will become more stronger, yeah, so on and so far. And arrays, in few words, it just simple uh, class which has a lot of static methods, so you don't need to create an instance of the class. Yeah, you can just call these methods, and this method will do something for you. It's a lot of documentation here. I also will recommend you to read. 1 second, please. Erase. Yeah, this one. I will recommend you to read this one. I also will share it with you with this link. Here is the main explanation of most useful erase method, which is particular how it works. Just go through this for you to understand. Yeah, and when you need to do something, usually it is cool when you use array. It is nice when you can implement it. Yeah, you need to know how to implement it. But usually when we say about enterprise, you need to reuse the things, not the implemented by your own, at most of the case at least. Okay, so the most convenient one. First of all, we will talk later about list. It's also class to store the data, more powerful than array. But the main idea here is that you can use as list to just have a list of these arrays. And again, in scope of list, we have a method to string. I can show you here. Oh, sorry. To string, it will be, I will rewrite this. Oh, it will be long, no, long for me. But right now, the main idea here is not a hash from the with this implementation, yeah, that I showed to you, yeah, from the object class. It will be implementation from the overriding the method to string, which already did by list class developers for you. Okay, so just create a list. We will discuss it later on. After it, the most important one, and I believe useful, it will be sort. But you need to understand how you need to think how this method works, how you can implement it by your own. And again, here you can find the explanation how guys do this. Quick sort, and again sort left, right. You can go through this code and you can see something like this. So in the end of the day, you will see something like this. Yeah. In any Java code, you will see something like this. Usually, always like this. If you will go deeper, you will find something, some for, while, so on, so far. Hard. I know it is not pretty easy for you, but my recommendation will be for you right now, implement it by your own. Yeah, so it's pretty simple question to the person, like how can I, can you please arrange this from smaller one to the biggest one? Yeah, and in this way you need to think how Java can do this for you and try to implement this by your own again, because you can have you will have sort method, but at first my question at the interview as an interviewer will be something like this. So how you will do this? And it will be a really important question for me, because while you will be answering me, you will show how you think about this, how you think in general, how you divide small big task to smaller one. Yeah, how you general behave in this situation, and how well do you know Java. Yeah, usually you will say like, oh, okay, we have a sort method. Okay, it's okay, it will be right, it will be right answer. But next question from my side will be, okay, but which particular implementation will you choose to do this sort, for example? Yeah, and you say, oh, but we have a sort method. It will be not really cool for me, at least, because you know only sort, but you don't know how it work under the hood. You need to explore this more. Okay, sort. I show you. We can print this simple one. Also, the main sort key yeah, find key, binary search. So when you sort something and you, for example, would like to find the key of this array and would like to know the index, which particular index this key will have. So when you will sort this, yeah, you will notice that it will be number 3. It also from 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and we count from 0 at this point. So binary search, also cool method. Here we have equals. Equals to know do we have a particular array or not, because if we will have something like, we'll talk about this later on, but right now for you to understand, equals to trade. Okay, so it will be true or false. Please write to the chat. Here it will be true or false. Okay, it was false. Okay, so why it will be a false? Because under the hood, Java will return here. So let's do it again in debug mode. Under the hood, Java here will return to you what? Will return to you. Wait a second. Yeah, the hash from the memory which it used to store the data. Yeah. Okay, result. Okay, so why it's like strange, so strange. So wait a minute. Okay, yeah, it will be false because here Java dedicate memory for this particular array. For example, let's do it quickly. 8 minutes. Okay, so we have a storage here. Yeah, you say at this line at number 9, you say, oh, okay, can you please store this particular value? Okay, yeah, I can. It's dedicate a memory here and decide that this memory will have some hash here, hash, so on so far. Yeah, so I will not write it right now. Yeah, and after it you come again at number 12, yeah, and say, can you please store also this value? And Java say, yeah, okay, I can, and dedicate again another memory slot for this, another one. Yeah, inside this particular array will have the same values, but for Java, this is not, they are not equals, at least in this point of view, when you write in like this, because here you say that you will try to compare in a wrong way, at least for not primitive types. For int it will work, but for not primitive types, array is not primitive type, it will not work, because again it will be false. And the right way to compare these particular arrays is to use one of the option is to use method behavior. Okay. Is to have to use a method from the class arrays which named equals, and in this way it will be particularly compare the values from this array, from each particular arrays. And you can see here, we can go to this, you can see it's like, first of all, it's our equals. So if it's equals, okay, we return true. If it's null, we return false, or if number 2 also will return false. After this, we compare the lengths. Yeah, if it's not the same length, we will return false. After this, we will try, we will go to the 4 and we'll count each particular value. if it's at least one will be not the same, we will return false. But in the end, we will return true. And again, I explained you the whole explanation of equals class. But it's cool when you can do this. When you can go to this method and say like, okay, I understand it. Okay. Also, two more examples, and after it I will answer your questions. Also, we can do the same for, we have deep equals, it will be the same, but for array in arrays, yeah. Not equals, just deep equal. And last one, toString. Also, we have a method fill, which will fill our array with something, and we have a method toString, which will already see, like it will implement our, it will return our arrays value. As you can see here, it will append something, and after it go to the for loop, and will print for you, a string, it will append something, so on so far. So it's iteratively will return some more and more values, so on so far. So let's write this code. So as you can see here, first of all, we create an array, and with these values. Yeah, after it we call method fill and say that for this particular array we would like to fill this array with this particular value. That's why we have 22 and 20 and 22. And after it we will try to print this. So let's do this without this method. As you can see here, it's our hash. It's for Java to understand that memory, that in memory we can find this reference for this from this hash. Okay, so any question for me while I'm reading the message? Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, about big O notation. We will have a lesson regarding this one later on. That's why it's not the scope of today's lesson. I can show you where it will be. Not here, string, generic collection. It will be here. At this point, we will discuss what is big O notation and so on so far. For now, it's just explanation the main infrastructure of Java, how you can use it and what we have here, but not the big O notation. It will be later on. Yeah. Okay, we have one more hand.
Yeah, maybe I missed it, but I want to ask if we change to arrays to, with the method to string, can we compare them?
Again, please.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. I don't really understand the question. Yeah.
Okay. If we got two arrays to list, and on both of them we used the method toString, compare that to arrays changed by that method?
You will compare the strings because I can show you here. When you will execute method toString, yeah, it will return you a string. So, for example, you can create a string here. It will be array string, yeah. And when you will do like this, yeah, it will be a string. Here you will receive a string, particularly from this method, yeah. And when you will say like, okay, I would like to have two arrays. It's like, is it where your question? Like here, here, and here. And you would like to do like this, and after it you would like to compare them. Am I right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and you would like to compare them. You have two ways. First way is incorrect one. You would like to compare in this way. And second one, you would like to compare in correct way. You will use method equal. Yep. So your question is what going on here and what going on there. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so here, as you can see, we try to compare these two strings from Java perspective. When you have two equal sign, it means that I need to find in my memory this particular object, yeah, and this object I know as this string, yeah. So, for example, this object I know as these strings, but this object I know as another string. So, for example, now let's right now write it in the debug. I can show you maybe. I don't know how it will react. My action. Okay, and we will try to execute this. Execute. It's already pretty cool one. Not in this way. In this way you have a string, but for Java, yeah, it stores somewhere. So from Java perspective, it's again, it's memory, and in this memory, yeah, again, it's memory. And in this memory, we will have string here, and we will have string slot here. For Java perspective, when he tried to compare this, here we have a hash and here we have a hash, and this hash will be never, it's like really real case, it's like never, Java guarantee you that it never will be like this. And try to compare this as a string as int state, it's like int value, and it will be wrong because you have different one. But when you
excuse me.
Yeah.
But what happened if you remove the line number 14?
Line number.
Yeah, because he's changing the one of the array.
Yeah, it will be absolutely the same. Let's write it. It will be absolutely the same. So it will be false true. Again, first of all, from Java perspective, it's a memory. From memory, it return a string and try to compare this int value. It's again, under the hood, it will be int value because the hash, it will be hash. We will discuss it later on. It's not the topic right now. It will be hash, and it will try to compare this hash. But Java try to guarantee you that the hash will never be the same for objects. And when you try to compare in this way, it's always wrong. It's like 99% in Java, it will be wrong, equals try to compare the objects. If we talk about objects, it's not about primitive types. Again, for primitive types, when you when you use something like 1 equals 2, it will be false. But 2 equals 2, it will be correct one, because here it's primitive type. And again, primitive type, it's not a string or arrays or it's not primitive types. Yeah, it's like a name of this. And here is the main difference, that when you need to compare not primitive types, you use equals. Usually you use equals. In most of the time you use equals, at least from some classes. For example, from class arrays. So again, in arrays we have a method equals, which under the hood arrays equals, which under the hood will execute something for you. And as you can see here, it's a lot of methods which receive object, floor, double, so on so far. But at the end of the day, it's guarantee you that you will see the result, it's true or false, equals or not, this object. Yeah, so this is correct way of when you need to find out if this method equals or not. And this one is correct, this one is correct only for primitive types.
Okay, thanks, now it's clear.
Yeah, sorry, maybe I'm not so, when I try to explain something, I'm not trying to be rude, really, so please forgive me, it was with force, sorry, it's my mistake.
No, it was just because I learned Python, so that's why.
Yeah, in Python it will be different, I understand you, yeah. In Java it will be not in this way. For Java, when you need to know if it's object equals or not, you need to use equals if it's not a primitive type. Okay, guys, so that's all for today. I already spent more time than I expect to spend. Any question? Again, no question. Again, my recommendation for you is to read this particular topic at the beginning of the next lesson. We will have the we will have the, again, quiz regarding these topics that we described. Maybe we will have this one also for you to don't forget. And we will move on to the object OOP, object programming. So that's all for today. If you have any question, please write. That's all.
Is there a
Thank you
homework for this lesson?
Yeah, we already have a homework for you, if I'm not mistaken, Olena. We have a 9 task for you already. And yeah, we have a homework. Or you don't have an access to this?
For example, I don't see.
Let's see. Okay, can you please share your screen? Okay, let me see. Okay. Olena, are you with us right now?
Yes, I'm here. I just check.
As far as I know, we already have. They need to already have an access to the 8 tasks. Yeah. Oh, maybe Olena, you will give them an access after this lesson.
Yeah.
So okay, guys, probably, we already discussed. With Elena, we decided that after each lesson you will have a particular task for this. Yeah, so that's why you right now don't have access. But after the end of this, I believe, day or week, you will have an access. Yeah, Elena?
Yeah.
Okay.
You will have access to home task in 13 minutes approximately. Yes, I have checked. Yeah.
Yep, sorry, my mistake, Olena. Yeah, I forgot about this. Yep. So guys, don't worry if you tomorrow will not see the home task for today's lesson, then please write to me or to Elena and we will see what's going wrong with you. But right now, yes, it's expected behavior, as QA usually say.
Thank you, Nikita.
Yeah, thank you all. So that's all for today. If you have any question, again, write to me or directly. Do not hesitate. Have a nice evening, guys. Bye.
Have a nice evening. Bye.
Have a nice evening. Bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
And I have one more question.
Yeah, listen.
I haven't been at the previous lecture because
Okay.
I wasn't in the AT group, and I have a question. What was in that lecture? And as I understand, we need Java 11 to
We need Java 8 or more then.